Picture this, you just killed the main boss and got 10 skill points. You open the skill tree, look at it for a while and think, wait, I've already upgraded my attacking and defending to 50%, but this boss still killed me 8 times? Nah, something ain't right. I'ma tell you straight up that you are right. Something isn't right. And no, it's not that you're that bad at that game, it's just that the skill tree feels like it didn't help a bit and that feeling is right. To understand this, I first gotta explain to you what skill trees are. I'm gonna be quick because I think everyone knows it, but just for the people who don't. A skill tree is basically a progression system in games where players unlock abilities, perks, or upgrades over time when they do something. So if they finish a task, if they finish a side quest, main quest, they got some XP points or they got a skill point, doesn't matter whatever the game calls them, and they can upgrade their character, upgrade their attacking, defending, doesn't matter. Progress is usually split into a tree, so you know where you are at all times. The way you upgrade is by gaining more levels, points, or stuff like that. The origin of skill trees is pretty interesting because skill trees are strongly linked to tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons, early computer RPGs in the 80s, 90s. They became mainstream in video games with RPG Evolution mostly, especially in Diablo and Final Fantasy series because they had various, and believe me, they had a lot of progressive systems. Later they got more and more mainstream in Skyrim, Borderlands, Assassin's Creed, Batman games, etc. Basically every story game has skill trees at this point. Now what developers actually say about skill trees and improvement that they actually give you. Game designers typically use skill trees for, let's say, feeling like you are building your character and that the build you chose is yours and nobody else's, because if you are not a content creator or if you don't share your build, then most likely nobody else can have the exact same build as you. And also they bring long-term engagement so you do not get bored. I don't know, you can kill all bosses the same, or you are too weak or you are too strong, so they bring this balance and they bring actually the reason for you to keep grinding if you want to finish the game in the best way possible. Another thing that's pretty important for games these days is replayability, and skill trees allow that a lot because let's say on your first playthrough you focus mostly on attacking, on your second on defending, on your third I don't know, on swimming or shit, so they allow pretty good replayability. And also they provide the feeling that there is a controlled pacing of power growth, so you're not, as I already said, too weak or too strong at all times. The illusion of skill trees. So this is pretty important because skill trees often feel like a meaningful choice, but many are partially or fully just an illusion of choice system. To explain this the easiest way, I'm going to explain this in 4 main ways that this illusion happens. First way is fake choice design or a meta dominance. So in many games, actually only 1 or 2 builds are really optimal and the rest are just underpowered or situational that can like profit you just at 1 or 2 times. The games that are often criticized for this are many RPG shooters like Borderlands because it sometimes has this issue depending on the build you choose. Some Assassin's Creed games like older RPG style entries, and also games like Diablo because they often build meta and the meta builds dominate the end game. But it's important to say that this is not universal, and some games like Path of Exile intentionally design deep variety but still develop a meta dominance due to player optimization and the players are not the same. The second thing is illusion of freedom because some skill trees look like a branching path, a ultimately good path, but they instantly, let's say, corner you into the same progression. You're not progressing even a bit. So how this works is basically, let's put it this way. You must unlock skill A to reach skill B. Most skill trees have similar power levels and choices only delay outcomes and not really change them, which would be pretty much better. Many Ubisoft games have this system, and this system is a common criticism of modern Assassin's Creed RPG trilogy like Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins, and games like that. And also you feel like you choose, I don't know, stealth, melee, or something else, but later ended up needing all anyway, so it doesn't matter. Either you're gonna need all or not gonna need any. In most of the cases, you're just gonna need all, so it really doesn't matter which way you go first. Third one is stat inflation or creativity. So a big hidden issue is that instead of giving new gameplay mechanics, skill trees just often give, I don't know, plus 5% damage, plus 10% chance of a critical shot, or plus health regeneration. So basically these upgrades don't just change how you play, they only change how fast the numbers go up. So you can basically kill the same boss with 20% damage and with 100% damage. It's gonna be harder, but still they don't change the way you play. So basically the skill tree just becomes a spreadsheet of a lot of stats. And the result for all of this is that players feel progression, but just the gameplay loop stays identical. And the fourth thing is psychological trick, or the kind of earned agency. Skill trees exploit real psychology, and this is something that I needed to research for a long time because they make you think that you're progressing, or it's basically a progress illusion. So every unlock triggers dopamine response or kind of a reward expectation. I don't know, you unlock a new hit, you feel the dopamine wanted to try that hit, but soon it just becomes as useless as all the hits before it were. And also when you invest points into one path, you feel committed to it. You want to finish it. You don't want to finish that path halfway and go to another path, because you feel like it will be way better, and you will feel better if you just finish it. This also ties to the fact that players just continue a build because they're already invested in it. But skill trees actually do help sometimes. They are not just fake, and they are not just purely illusion. They can genuinely improve games when designed well. So this is basically all the matter of design. Not all skill trees are bad, but not all of them are good. Skill trees allow different playstyles, role specialization, and your version of a character, because as I already said, nobody is probably gonna have the same version of a character, so you're gonna have some benefits that the other player doesn't have, and the other player is gonna have some benefits that you don't have. A great example for this is Skyrim. They have Stealth Archer, or they have Warriors, and they are very real gameplay differences. Like if you choose Stealth Archer, you're gonna be prone more to the stealth and more to the bow, of course. But if you choose Warrior, you're probably gonna attack a lot. Good skill trees also let players experiment a lot, create unique builds, and solve problems differently, because when everyone in the game solves problems differently, it means it's gonna be more engaging, and everyone is gonna wanna find a way to solve it themselves. But in most of these games, skill trees are not pure progression systems or pure freedom systems. They are mostly controlled illusion systems that combine real choice with guided outcomes. So instead of going into the extremes with full face skill trees, illusions only, stats only, no real change, or a chaos tree, too many choices, unbalanced, confusing, a good design sits somewhere in the middle. Some choices matter, some are illusion just for pacing, because not all choices need to matter, and some are just kind of a balancing tools disguised as freedom. So the question is not, are skill trees real and do they help us, but how much of our choice in games is actually designed by a complete illusion.